For that response. I wasn't accustomed to it. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Solano Valley. My name is Cecily Hines and I'm a member of your Board of Trustees. As a reminder, please silence your cell phones for the remainder of the service. With open hearts and open minds, we are a welcoming congregation united on the side of love and justice for all. Along with our mission statement, you will find these core principles and values expressed more vividly through the 8 principles which we affirm, practice, and promote within this setting and throughout our whole community. You will find those in the back of the program, and if you now would look at the back, we will recite together the land acknowledgement. UUCSB acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the ancestral home of the Cherokee and other indigenous people. The Cherokee, through stewardship, understanding, and conservation, survive and thrive in this land. We acknowledge their enduring connection to their homeland. It's our tradition to welcome first and second time visitors or those that are returning after having been away for a while. So if you are comfortable in doing so, please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from. I'm going to start with this side today. Anyone on this side?
I'm a second time visitor. My name's Molly. I live down the street.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, welcome, Molly.
Welcome, Molly.
Anyone else on this side? Over here?
You all know me. I'm Mary Soyanova. And these 2 beautiful women are my great-granddaughters. And Dakota is a returning Unitarian. When she was 7 years old, she used to come and go into the RE room. And so they've been gone for a while, and she's all grown up now.
And I'd like to ask my 2 close friends from Minneapolis to stand. Francis and Susan are dear, dear friends, and they're here visiting me for the weekend, and I couldn't be happier. All right, we would love to get to know anyone who's a new visitor, and so please fill out the card in the back of the pews and drop it into the collection plate if you would, and join us for coffee afterwards. There are members of our membership committee here if anyone wanted to talk with them, and if you would rise, those of you on the membership committee, just so people can see who you are. And we've got an important announcement. June 8th is our annual congregation meeting. It will be right after the service at 12:30. This is a really important meeting for our congregation to get everybody's input and approval of our budget going forward, and it's a great community spirit day. So please make a note that June 8th, we want you to be here. We look forward to your participation.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see your faces.
These opening words are from the Reverend David Bumbaugh, the late Reverend David Bumbaugh, who I had the pleasure of meeting when I was serving in New York. He writes, "Our church exists to proclaim the gospel that each human being is infinitely precious." What a concept. That the meaning of our lives lies hidden in our interactions with one another. We wish to be a congregation where we encounter each other with wonder, with appreciation and expectation, where we call out of each other strength, wisdom, and compassion. Some of those things we never even knew that we had. And so, please rise as you are willing and able. Thank you, Diane. And join in singing. Our opening hymn this morning is Mother Spirit, Father Spirit. Wow. There looks like there's a mistake. I don't remember 534, so let me pick something for us to read. Yeah, that's, Okay, just close our eyes and pick one. How about 519? I think that would be apropos by Brother Tagore. We'll read this responsibly. Yeah, the other one, and it's probably me. Sometimes I write down the wrong things, but that's certainly not where we're going today. Okay. Let me not pray to be sheltered from dangers.
Let me be fearless in facing them.
Let me not beg for the stilling of my pain.
But for the heart to conquer it.
Let me not look for allies in life's battlefield.
But to my own strength.
Let me not crave in anxious fear to be saved.
But hope for the patience to win my freedom.
Grant me that I may not be a coward, feeling your mercy and my success alone.
But let me find the grasp of your hand in my failure.
All right. Now I know who I can call on in a jam. This is the time, and oh yes, congregational meeting on the 8th. We'll probably be here about an hour, so you know you'll still have time to enjoy your day, but this is important because you get to vote on the budget and things like that. So we'll probably get out of here, you know, we stop at 11, you'll probably be, maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so, I think. Ro, would you think that not to put you on the spot, but we usually kind of go through these things. Yeah, but we need you here is my point, so forewarned is forearmed. This is the time in the service where we invite you to come up to share a joy or concern. The elements are here. I may not have put. Hold on. All right. Domine Patre. Anyway, the water's here. The elements are there. The floor is yours. Have to add a little levity. Anyway, the floor is yours. Do you need me to bring you anybody? Okay. We'll use this stone for those of you who, for whatever reason, decided not to come up. Just know we keep you in our thoughts and prayers. All right. I wanted to share this with you from Alice Walker. It will set us up for, no, I'll do Alice later. This is what I want to share with you first. We have a Course in Miracle group that Larry Perlman and I facilitate. And they're wonderful groups. We started out, with about 30 people, but some people left, and so we have a manageable group between us, about half of that. It's from Tuesdays from 1 to 2:15 if you're interested. I want to share with you a poem that will be our meditation this morning. I've edited it for you. Some of the God talk may make you twitch a little, so I kind of edited that. For those of you who don't mind, it's all good. So please center yourselves as you see fit, and we will have our time of quiet afterwards. This is called The Way to Peace is Open. There is a silence into which the world cannot intrude. There is an ancient peace you carry in your heart and have not lost. Peace is a natural heritage of spirit. Everyone is free to refuse to accept his inheritance, but he is not free to establish what his inheritance is. Peace and understanding go together and can never be found alone. Strength and innocence are never in conflict, but naturally live in peace. Lay down your arms and come without defense into the quiet place where heaven's peace holds things still at long last. Lay down all thoughts of danger and of fear. Let no attack enter with you here. In this quiet state alone is your strength and power. Here can no weakness enter, for here is no attack, and therefore no illusions. I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. There is nothing else for you to find on your life's journey except the peace of God. And now, while I have your attention and your minds are one, our minds are one for this brief moment, I leave you with the eloquence of silence. And so it is. It's now time to collect this morning's offering.
Hello, I'm Diane Hutchins, and I'm very happy to be with everyone here this morning. For some time, a very special friend of mine has been requesting I do a solo here in church. I thought it was about time. So, I plan to dedicate that song to her today because of the fabulous person she is. She is actually one of my role models. And you'll understand when I tell you who she is. It's a woman who has received many awards for her work in anti-racism and her lifelong passion for passage of the ERA amendment. You may have guessed who it is now, so I will just go ahead and announce it. It is Roberta Madden. The song I chose is an Appalachian folk song, one of my favorites. It's not in any way about Roberta, but just imagine I'm telling her the story. And one other thing, not only is she very accomplished, but she's a fabulously good person. I think we'd all agree on that.
Despite the fact that she tells bad jokes.
No wonder she and Michael get along so well. fly. Oh, go and get a little boat, and we will row, my love and I. There is a ship, and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep as we can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know not here I'll sink or swim. I leaned my back against an oak, thinking it was a trusty tree, but then it bent, and then it broke, and so my love grew false to me. Oh, love is warm when it is new, and love is sweet when it is true. But love grows old and waxeth cold and fades away like the morning dew. The water is wide, the water is wide.
Thank you for your generosity. Deeply appreciated. I invite you to stand and for the UU National Anthem. Number 123, Spirit of Life. Now I'll share with you Alice Walker's reading on reassurance. I thought it was apropos for the sermon this morning. Alice Walker writes that I must love the questions themselves as Rilke says, like locked rooms full of treasure to which my blind and groping key does not yet fit, and await the answers as unsealed letters mailed with dubious intent and written in a very foreign tongue. And in the hourly making of myself, no thought of time to force, to squeeze the space that I grow into. I think I mentioned last week about my love-hate relationship with Nietzsche and his theory of the Übermensch, and I don't have a problem with that, really. It's just his theory on fate and reason, but I hate it, but I don't hate it, but yet I buy his books. I mean, there's something, I need to talk to someone, but I'm trying. But the German philosopher Nietzsche was once quoted as saying that if one could, this I like what he's saying here, that if one can discover the why of life, he or she can endure any how. If you can find out the why of your life, the how you don't have to worry about. It will come to you. And he was speaking, of course, of the individual discovering the why of his or her existence. The why of what motivated them to live or think in a certain way, to act in a certain way. And so when the why was discovered, you can endure the how of life. The how to live would then be revealed to you. And perhaps you've heard it said that Unitarian Universalists should have a question mark as our religious symbol as opposed to the chalice. And this is the source of my talk this morning. The following quote is attributed to an anonymous author, but I found it quite fitting for our topic. We know the mechanics of reproduction. Our young people are attending human sexuality classes, and they'll know even more than we do. We have computer dating to match people up. We have amniocentesis to find out about how our babies are before they are born. We have fortune tellers, we have astrologers, we have palm readers. We have biologists, we have psychobiologists, we have microbiologists. We have psychoanalysis and handwriting analysis, weather forecasters and future forecasters, archaeologists, and we're all asking what, how, and why. We want to solve the mystery. We want to learn the secret. We simply want to know, end quote. And so we want to study nature and human nature. We want to know why. Why is the world the way it is? Why am I the way that I am? Why are you the way you are? Why do good things happen to bad people? And why do bad things happen to good people? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why do I care? Why is this happening to me? Why am I asking why? Why even ask why? Now, I don't pretend to know the answers to these questions, but there is one thing that I am pretty certain of, and that is from the beginning of time, since human beings have been on the planet, our ancestors pondered the questions. Why? Our ancestors have speculated and wondered and have discovered that there are more questions than there are answers regarding the journey or the path of human existence. And so our degree of comfort with those questions and our need for certainty of those answers has shaped our theologies, both individually and collectively speaking. Many religious people, not all, but many religious people are conformist. Many people display more belief in belief, showing allegiance to their desire to fit in than to belief itself. They don't get it that our humanity connects us more than our theologies divide us. UUs are questioners by nature. We love questions. Most likely we have been asking questions since we were children, and so we are curious by definition. And it's been said that the kingdom and queendom of heaven is like a little child. And in order to enter this kingdom or queendom, we have to become as little children. And so many of us keep our hearts open quite naturally to the sense of wonderment, a sense of awe, the sense of curiosity in order to enter this sphere, this dimension. We're such noted questioners that I've shared the UU joke with you that when religious bigots want to protest against Unitarian Universalism, they burn a question mark on our lawns. So it's safe to assume that all of us at one time or another, maybe I should get like, instead of wearing a cross, just like a question mark. That would get some conversation too. It's safe to assume that all of us at one time or another have had this burning sensation, this fire to know, to discover, to explore, to uncover new and exciting truths, to discover new levels of understanding in our hearts and minds. And we want to encourage this in other people. And so Socrates was right when he said that the unexamined life is not worth living. Malcolm X was right when he said that the unexamined faith is not worth having. And so we each have so many questions, and our human experience on this planet all guarantees this. And it's just part of being human. And the truth is, there are times when we don't want to live those questions because it's difficult work to live with mystery. I think that's where we kind of differ from more traditional religious faiths, because we don't mind saying, at least I don't know, that's a mystery. And it's the certainty that drives people away, that you can reduce all of life's vicissitudes and verities and ups and downs into a single formula. It's insulting. I find it so. Sometimes we really, really need the answers to our questions, or at least we think we do. It's hard work to live the questions. It is work that gives meaning. That's what gives our lives purpose. The questions. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because it is purpose and meaning that we have personally discovered for ourselves and not from someone else's experience. It's our own experience, and that's what we encourage you. Not because someone wrote it in a book 2,500 years ago, but you can say, oh yeah, I know that. That's happened to me. I've been there. Or not. Or not. That's okay too. Nietzsche was once quoted as saying, well, he said so many things, Nietzsche. I mean, I read him before I came here this morning. He was once quoted as saying that he bore no great love to religion. But he was once quoted as saying that the Western tradition of analytic reasoning was tantamount to adding more unknown to the already known. Or the Western way of thinking is bent on asking what the Buddha referred to as unprofitable questions like, do I have psychic powers? Or will I have life after death? Buddha wouldn't answer those kinds of questions because he didn't deny them, but he said that that's kind of a waste, it's a distraction. That's a distraction. That's not the point of your journey. Life is a process, an adventure, an overcoming. It's an exploration. It's a ride. It's a journey. And since we are all works in progress, and at times we ask for more information, but we don't ask for more wisdom. Sometimes we get it twisted that information is wisdom. And look at your social media accounts. No. We are drowning in information, but not wisdom. Many of us are curious by nature, and yet we sometimes forget the words of French philosopher, an existentialist. I'm sure if he was here, he would say, Michael, a music critic. Gabriel Marcel. He was focused on the individual's inner life. Even then, he died in 1973. He was born in 1889. And how we struggle in a technological, dehumanizing society. Does that sound familiar? Marcel also believed, along with the Danish philosopher Kierkegaard, that life is not a problem to be solved. It's a mystery to be lived. I have another philosopher right down here. There's Wally's back there. Scott's here. I'm glad you showed up. Harry's back there. He invites us to, Marcel invites us to explore the questions of life and see if we cannot be more engaged in living the questions. This requires a great degree of patience. To be patient, to live the questions, to live everything, to live in the now. I'm thinking of a picture I once saw of a person sitting cross-legged in a half-lotus position and meditating, and the caption read, "Come on, inner peace, I don't have all day." Don't have the time. Give it to me now, give it to me yesterday. And so we're all in such a hurry, and we forget what Gandhi said when he said that there's more to life than increasing its speed. And of course, there is the process of asking questions that undoubtedly lead to further. It's the Socratic method, right? This is what we're talking about. And yes, there's always more to discover and learn, but we also have to remember that knowledge is learning something every day. But wisdom is letting something go every day, especially as we get older. Some stuff you just don't need anymore. I need to put this down and let it go. I need to be lighter. Enlightenment. I'm lighter than I was. And so there's always more to ponder. There's always more to wonder about, asking questions. This is what our lives are about, making room for new possibilities. But we have to keep the room for mystery. You know, the Lakota and the Dakota, they talk about Wonka Tonkin. That's who they call the Great Spirit, the great mystery. Aboriginal peoples have no problem with it. I don't know. The finite can never comprehend the infinite. As long as I'm in this body, there's some things, I'm looking at you now and I can't see behind me. There are limitations to being a human being. And so no one knows the human heart so completely that they have all of the answers. And if they do, you need to run like you know what the other way. We live between knowing and not knowing. And either of these positions can give us satisfaction, can give us fulfillment and anxiety and excitement, and can also give us fear. Sometimes the thing that we want most is the very thing that you're most frightened of. There are times when we may feel and experience all of these emotions at once, but again, I remind you, life is not a problem to be solved. It's a mystery to be lived. Hey, Mike, is the water cold out there? Why don't you come out here and put your foot in it? Don't ask me. Come on out. Get in the game. This is what I'm talking about. And you can't get here from here. You can't. I've tried it. I still go back to it every now and then. But Nietzsche. Yeah. I'll set up an appointment with someone this week. Living in this tension, if we are open to it, it challenges us to see, to learn, to study, to experience, to risk being what? Uncomfortable. to risk being uncomfortable, to stretch out of our comfort zones. And not knowing can be humble. I can tell you, it can be humbling, but my life has gotten so much easier when I've learned to say I don't know, or I don't have to be right. I mean, I know I've added 10 years to my life. That's hard carrying all that. You know, just to say, hey man, I don't know. And it keeps us from hiding behind our intellects. And it encourages us to risk being vulnerable. Where you can see me instead of the mask I wear, the minister mask, and you know, the intellectual mask. And when I leave here, I'm a mess when I get home. I must tell you that because I'm human. And I know that, you know, I know when I'm in my false self mode, and I'm not saying that I am, but I'm just saying, because we all have these masks, that we have to know everything, and we can't be wrong, and I gotta be right, and I gotta have all my you-know-what together, and that's not human. That's what you wanna ask. Why do I think I need to do that when you'll accept me whether I do or not? That's the wonderful thing about AA, right? I'm rambling. When I went to AA for a 12-step program, I went in there, and I was so codependent, and I told people the worst stuff that ever happened to me. Most people would have said, know what they said? Let me give you my number. Let me give you my phone number. I put my worst stuff out there, and people loved me. They loved me. They said, hey man, I've been there. So there's something to say for risking to take off the mask. That's if you know you got the mask on. Some people don't even know that they're wearing the mask. So we come and we accept and we acknowledge the incompleteness of our knowledge and mystery. There are things beyond my power that I don't even, some things I don't even want to know, I'll be honest with you. It's above my pay grade. I don't need to know that. And so, asking why, you want to ask, you want to continue to be curious, but you want to be able to catch yourself when I'm just delaying. I'm in the paralysis of analysis, as Dr. King calls it. So I don't want to really know, so I'm just going to wear you down with these questions. I'm repeating myself, so I'm skipping some things. I think we did I talked about information here, okay. So we ask these questions about human existence. How do I live? Why must I live? Why? This, that, this change. You know, the Buddhists just put it very simply. They say that's impermanence. And one of the things that we have to accept in life, I forget all 5 of them, Thich Nhat Hanh says, but there are 5 things, but they basically say that I'm going to die, I'm going to get old. At some time in my life, almost everyone I love, if I live long enough, I will lose. You know, I forget the other 2. I'll remember them if I live long enough. But I mean, once you can accept those things, you can just go for the rest of the ride, especially in Western culture. I can't control everything. Can't control everything, that's a big one. And that the illusion of being in control. But I'm going to die, I'm going to be sick. At some time in my life, I will be sick. I will die. Things change. I'm going to lose all of the people I love. I'm going to have to leave all those things behind. If you can hold it, not depressing. It's just life, man. And a body on planet Earth. In other dimensions, there's something else. But we're here. And once you can hold on, it has nothing to do with religion. You could be an atheist, you could be an evangelical. Well, that's not good. But, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Langston Hughes' poem, Dear Lovely Death. Dear lovely death, that taketh all things under wing. Never to kill, right? Because you can't kill energy. It can't be created or destroyed. This is what quantum physicist Einstein, this is not philosophy, it's physics. He says, never to kill, only to change into some other thing. this suffering flesh to make it neither more nor less, but yet not again the same. Dear lovely death, change is thy other name. Chief Seattle, from the Duwamish tribe, a western tribe of the U.S., says there's no death, there's simply a change of worlds. Out of this basic human need, this outcry, this is how religions were started. How do I answer these questions? I know I must die, so how do I live? The world's religions are an attempt to answer these existential questions. You and I try to do it as Unitarian Universalists or what other path used without the dogma, the doctrine, the rules, the scriptures, the salvation. For some, those things are a safe harbor. For us, they're a prison. That's why you're sitting here, not across the street on Sundays. UUism is a philosophy, but we'll say it's a religion that developed in response to rigidity, dogma, and exclusivity. It is a religion / philosophy that emphasizes freedom with responsibility. Revelation is continuous. Just because Jesus died and left, things are still being revealed. And we're all part of it, and we're responsible for this interdependent web of existence of which we are all a part. I don't know about you, but I find that liberating. For others, this is uncharted waters. And so we are heretics. And, probably other lifetimes we had to cut your tongue out or had to do something ungodly towards you because we were probably heretics back then. But right now, in 2025, we are heretics. We'll see how far that goes as time goes, how we'll be treated. But heretic means just that we choose. That's all. You look up the word. Heretic means it's a departure from accepted beliefs or standards. We choose. That's where the difference that makes the difference. And we all want a religion or a philosophy that will assist us in living our beliefs. We just sang Spirit of Life. I do love this song. That's what we're trying to get in touch with. God, the force, the first principle, whatever you want to, your higher power, whatever you call it. That's what you're trying to connect with because we've forgotten that we're already connected to it. We already are, even when we forget that we are. So in a very real and significant sense, no matter what the questions of life are about, and this is the crux of the whole talk, no matter what the questions about life are or ever will be, our answer must always be yes. Always yes. We must learn to choose love over fear and be courageous enough to say yes to life. We are the creatures who know that one day we will die. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that death smiles at all of us, and all we can do is smile back. That's all we can do. So what will you do with your wild and precious life? What will you do with your gifts? Now, I don't know. That's a question only you can answer. But I look at the words of Dag Hammarskjöld, former Secretary of the UN. His words come to mind. He says, "For all that has been, thanks. And for all that will be, yes." So perhaps, maybe, if we are willing, you and I together, we may just be able to answer some of these questions and to live some of the mystery together. Together. Let's go home. Okay. Our closing hymn. Please rise as you are willing and able. We would be one, number 318. Oh, you want to do that?
I don't care, you said you wanted to do this as myself. We need to do that one.
We want to do that one? We need to do that one? Assalamu alaikum.
One.
Wa alaikum salam. The one she wanted, number 159. Who's on first? Yeah. Yeah, I already told you. So, what's interesting, they're the same tune, they're just different words, so. Yeah, it's the same tune. Okay, Diane Hutchins. Maestro, thank you. Now may love hallow every home and every heart, and may the light of truth continue to shine bright among us, and keep blessing us with wisdom and strength and love. Have a wonderful afternoon.